Yeah. Um, I wanted to say I am so excited. Let me turn off the music, y'all. So I am so excited because my laptop. I had gotten my laptop. Uh, the heart. Well, first of all, come to find out, it was doing all that stuff where you know, I couldn't get. I kept disappearing and all that messed up stuff. Long story short, the hard drive was going out and it was a brand new laptop. So Dell had to come out and they were like, "Oh yeah, your hard drive went out. We'll replace it." But really, and I was like, "Well, I'm doing podcasting from my laptop and I connect all this stuff to it." And the technician told me what I needed to do, and so I did. So I was really happy about that. So anyway, with that being said, I'm really excited that my laptop is back on top. So with that, let's get on to the trending topics. And the first thing, you already know what I'm gonna say. Oh, Jerry Springer. We want to say rest in peace, Mr. Springer. Who like the great bring us those things that we were so interested. You are father, or you are the father. Um, and, and I really wasn't that would watch those, but there were embellished. Um, we want to just say, just our this. I remember hearing that he had cancer and that he was battling. This basically, comfortably in his own home, and I think that was the whole take on everything is that he was uh, comfortable in his own home. And so sad. um Again, celebrities and people. Yeah, I was so sorry to hear about that. Yeah. So I mean, again, if you don't watch a lot of Jerry Springer, you don't really know. But if you have watched him, you actually know. And like Ikram said, God bless his soul. Amen. And his family and everybody going through what they're going through. But for the are to the Lord. I have talked about this on previous. I really want to start on this because to what they call troll pages, and I don't know if I'm using it right. Would say what that means is that people go to other people's pages and they're saying things just without any regards to you. And yes, you might say, well, they put themselves in the law. That ain't my fault. About the type of person you're being. You know, um are you being a good person? You basically um are going to them about them and arguing with them. Not even they're not gonna argue with you in most cases, but I'm arguing on their page with other people. It's crazy. What in the world are you doing if you don't have a life? You should get one. Or have some more. Be respectful in a forum where you can gossip and this is one of those things where when we about it, I am going to be having some real dish has manifest more and more with you. But one of my main things that I truly believe in is that you get what you put out there, and some people love attraction. whatever it is that you sow, you shall reap. There's many, many ways to put it. I think a lot of people try to mince uh, words because it what it is and becomes an issue for your affecting others, then you need to ask yourself, what is it that you're not happy with? You know? So again, who passed away, um, I believe it was Black Adam. He was, I felt like a great gentleman, and he was a mayor as well. Did not know it. Um, now, now there's some point with celebrities. They're just like we are. Um, they basically have issues. They go through things. We are being told, I don't know what show he played on, or excuse me, John. So I don't know. Like, see, here, when you have a relationship with somebody, it's so important. It's why you should work on yourself, because we've talked about it before: boundaries, loving yourself. If you focus on loving who you are, you don't have time to worry about what they doing, because eventually what you grow to learn is, if someone that you care about or love, that is your romantic love interest, does not know how to have a relationship with you based on how they treat you, is what I'm not such on other things that people could get hung up on, like again, when you know your self-worth and you value yourself and you love yourself, then you don't start try to focus on so many things that make you be or feel or become deficit in the relationship. In other words, you know you love someone, that person works a lot. They grind very, very hard, because they're about their money. They want to be successful. They want to retire, and when they get to that retirement age, the number that they put out there, they want to sit back and enjoy the fruits of their labor. And I'm with that. Okay, 110%. I'm a grinder. I grind. I grind and grind. I don't care how many new things I start. There's some things that I start and I keep at it, and there's some things, I have several things in the pipeline that may not have worked initially. So I move on to the next thing. So that's why some of you see me, oh, what's Dina up to now? Never been one to sell Mary Kay or pyramid schemes. I'm not knocking anyone that does. I'm just saying it's never been for me. People say, you Uber, and when they talk about me being an Uber driver, I personally love driving. I'm tired as hell. Don't get me wrong. It's very exhausting, especially here in LA, because the traffic is it's like back to back sometimes. And so what I did is I sat and I worked out I worked out a schedule that I can do, that works for me, that makes me, not only am I able to do things for my podcast, but I make good money. I can pay my bills. It's not where I'm going to be, but it's where I need to be so that I can do what I want to do. And I'm not going to say that I don't like working for um, my remote jobs and stuff like that. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that sometimes you have to know your boundaries, and once you know those, you kind of shape things around it. But with that being said, my point is that I have intentions of doing very well on what I'm trying to succeed in now. And with that, sometimes you have to put things in perspective and try to figure out what you can and can't do. And that's the reason why I Uber, because it made me, I can work 5 hours a day and still be on top of everything that I need to be on top of. So I'm good. I'm good. And I get up at like 3 a.m. and I probably work, um, for a little while, and you know I'm good. But oh, I see. He was in Avengers. Okay, so let's go on back to Jonathan Majors. My point to celebrities is that they're just like we are. And if you notice, people are really cracking up, and I mean going crazy out here. And I don't know if it's after, but I think it's because people innocent with Jonathan Majors and her girlfriend because of an alleged domestic um, the judge granted her protection because at her request was when the the and you know majors order, but he's still being with not long. So they posted all these messages and what fors, what nots, and you can imagine some of the things. But for the most part, if you are loving something with someone that much, exactly, if you're being to the point where they're making you uncontrol be uncontrolled and lose your control, it's time for you to roll out, because there's no reason why somebody should be going outside of boundaries. And if you're setting boundaries for individuals who allegedly are your love interest or someone you are going to marry or whatever that you want to be involved with, because it problems for you. I talk about vibration, and I talk about being on a good vibe. And I don't, I pretty much feel that, like some people like to take this kind of understanding to a spiritual level of saying that means you don't believe in God. That's not true. This is me. I know in what I worship spirit on a vibe to do that. In fact, they are on a higher vibration. There are several things help you get there that they consist keep you in that consistent place. People pray or meditate, and this is a quieting of the mind, if you will. When you quiet the mind, you're able to sit and you know I always use that analogy that someone in my Uber, he and I were talking, and I don't want to misquote where he was from, but he was from a different country. And he said, the reason you meditate, and it was a quick, easy, simple answer, I loved it, or pray, is because you need clarity. And I think that is amazing because it is true. And he used sand and water in a jar and swirled it around. You know how people put stuff in the soda bottle and make the tornado? So you swirl it around and makes the tornado. And then when you sit that jar down, it separates the water from the sand. And what do you have? Clarity. Okay. So coming up, I have a section on my webpage, www.dinamarielive.com, where you can also watch my podcast there. I'm that you some my podcast that will be so important that reset every morning. And I tell you all the time, I when I wake up before I take 20 minutes. And some people like to meditate with music or God. didn't make and the Cleo whatever does for um and it's just an amazing accomplishment once I had them. So again, Jonathan Majors and how he told that they submitted some legal footage that says that his ex went to a nightclub after um I guess they attacked alleged attack. She said that she claimed that he attacked her. Now, she went out to a nightclub and they said she didn't seem injured at all. Now, like I said, and when you start getting into lying on somebody and jeopardizing, their freedom and stuff like that, you need to go. Because 9 times out of 10, and these are facts, and y'all got to realize it, people and they fall for the sex. They fall for sex. And so when good, guess what? You're not having sex anymore. And guess what? The relationship starts to fail. So just because somebody was giving it to you in a specific way and you was like in love with that person, you got to start respecting yourself enough to where if you left sex out of the equation, do you still feel this person? Does this person's energy still feel positive with you and make you feel special and loved and all these things? And can you still feel yourself being with this person, even though you may not have ever had sex? I mean, that's how they used to do it. And those marriages lasted for years. So y'all need to rethink this process, especially some of our newer generations. Y'all coming up, a lot of you, and far be it from me to tell you what type of preference you should have as sex, because there's some older people that's into different things as well. But I feel like your heart and your head are split in two different directions, and some of y'all know what I mean. Now, you got two different things going on with two different kind of people, and you can't understand why you got a problem because you're confused. Okay, pick a side. Pick a side and stay on it. Okay. There's no sense in wishing washing back. Just because you can don't mean you should, honey. Don't mean you should. So, with that being said, pick a side and stop saying you're going to do this and do that and blah, 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 blah. Because once you get in a relationship, you know, you might undergo things that you don't want to undergo because all of a sudden the person you're with thinks that you down for anything and you knew your heart couldn't handle that anyway. You just did something to make up something, to try something, to go with the flow. Don't let other things in the world influence you. Love who you are. What is wrong with you? Nothing. Love who you are. And when you love who you are, I assure you, you will know when the right person comes along. You'll know when they're there. You will. And nothing or no one can stop the union. And so you begin to just wait for it to manifest. You enjoy the journey. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they want stuff and they pray for stuff and then immediately they go into action trying to make it happen. Well, you just asked for it. It's going to happen if you believe that it's going to happen. But at the same time, you have to allow it to happen. And allowing it is enjoying the journey. And sometimes in the journey, you go through something else or other things that you have to allow yourself to process and go through. You can't just pop up and have it. Your life, when you're asking for things and you're meditating and praying for things, the spirit that is working with you spiritually, the higher spirits, your inner spirit, your self, conscious, whatever. When it's working with you, basically, it's working to get you prepared because you can't just hop into it. Because if you could, you wouldn't be asking for it. It would already be there, right? So now this is what we're talking about, making sure that you get with the right person because we got Jonathan Majors, and I don't know who his girlfriend was. He's African American. She's Anglo-Saxon white. Some people um, feel like that can be a scary situation when people get go have mixed relationships because one race will be believed over the other, and then other things happen. But I think in light of Black Lives Matter and all these other things that happen in our world, this case is being taken seriously. I don't know. They got the text messages in. There says there's no note, just you knowing what happened. Did you leave the keys? And then somebody says goodbye, and I don't know if it's the B word or the N. I don't know. Huh. See, Siri be listening. I did not say anything to you. Please cancel. And I get maybe that's her name, Suzanne Boston. Like what? That AI is amazing. Artificial intelligence. And this is a side point, but when you look at your phone or your watch and there's a green dot, it's listening to you. So that means it's listening to what you're saying, and that's when it starts popping stuff up. But it's like, please let me know you're okay when you get this. They assured me that you won't be charged. So her messages are in black, his are in blue. He's saying, did you leave the keys? Goodbye. He must have said the B word. And then she's writing paragraphs to show her genuineness or whatever. When they saw the injuries on me and they knew we had a fight, um, they had to arrest you as protocol. I'm so angry they did, and I'm sorry you're in this position. We'll make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault trying to grab your phone. I only just got out of the hospital. Just call me when you're out. I love you. So then she goes on to say, they just called again to check on me, and I reiterated how it was not the attack. Now, so already in that first paragraph, let me just say this. Again, if you're going out of your way to make sure that an individual who put hands on you is is okay because you are well first of all, I guess the police were called at some point. When they came out, they had to talk to her because domestic violence in California is a big deal, especially after the OJ thing years ago. It became some type of laws and different things and whatever, and then it became like that all over the world. But anyway, my point is, if somebody you love puts hands on you, the first time they do it and you stay, you have to really look at yourself and what's wrong with you. Because you should know someone who loves you will not hit you, they make you cry, let alone put hands on you. So in this scenario, she's sitting up here saying, "Oh, I shouldn't have grabbed your phone." No, I don't care if I did grab your phone. The thing about it is, you can go get another phone. But reality check, obviously there's an argument about something in your phone. But first of all, second of all, as a woman, I'm not going to put myself up against you as a man because if you don't know what you have and you want to be out in these streets with somebody else, bye bye, sayonara, sucker. See you later. Because if you don't know what you have in me, then that is not my problem, and nor is that my business. It's not. Your business is not my business. I love you. I can appreciate that I love you. I am so satisfied in loving you. I am thankful that I love you, and I'm going to love you in every way, in the best way. And I'm not going to give you any reason to want to be anywhere else. But those insecurities come within you. If you decide that you have to be with somebody else and you got to go out and be with somebody else because you just don't know what you have, again, I am not the one. So I can tell you unequivocally that this time, I get into the relationship the way that I want to embark on the relationship that I have next and final will be the last relationship of my life. And I will be with him for the rest of my life. And we will be just in love with each other, you know. And I know that that is imminent and it's going to happen. And I will be very, very happy. And you will see. But the point that I'm getting to is, um, she's sitting up here sending these messages to him. I assure you, I didn't do this. You know, she promised all will be. relay to you and and da 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 da. But she sounds like she's begging him because she sounds like she's afraid of him. So sounds like it's happened before and she's just not admitting it. But if you found somebody once, you can find somebody a second and a third and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth time. You don't have to sit there and deal with that mess. But I implore you, before you go running down these streets trying to find somebody to be with, and if it's just sex that you need and want, I mean, there's other ways you can do that. Trust and believe. There's other ways you can do that. I ain't saying I do it because I'm like a self control person. I don't want to. I feel like there's certain things that I'd rather do, and there's other things that I can be doing. And I know that when the time is right, all the things that I want, I just, it's like an you that's good. I won't worry and satisfied and loved and I'll be able to love him and all that. So I'm not even worried about it. I'm not even it's not even a if and or but kind of thing. But this right here, no way. No, I mean not today. And not ever. You can't put your hands on me and get away with it, and I'm gonna be begging you. That's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. I'm so sorry. It's not. So anyway, moving on to each one teach one. I love the each one teach one's topic. So let me get everything set up. I'll be right back, and I'm going